Hey, laat op!
80.
En verder is de automaat. Oké. Goed. Ik zit hier in de auto met Bastiaansen. Nog een keer. I'm here in the car with Bastiaansen. We said to do this in English because this is a very relevant subject for everybody, for the whole world. And Bastiaansen, you always did teleatlas. Billions of people are using mapping information now because of Google and because of TomTom. But now you're in the agricultural world and your goal is to get 15% more production for every farmer in the world by using smartphones and satellites, right? That is the short description. Yeah. Now, tell me the story. How can we get 15% more production? And less chemicals too. How can we...
Less chemicals and less water usage also, yes, correct.
Okay, that sounds too good to be true.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Okay. Smart working for farmers,
I think the founder of this technology is a nephew of mine, which is called Professor Wim Bastiaansen.
Professor, doctor, engineer, everything.
Wim Bastiaansen from the Technical University of Delft.
Yeah.
And Wim Bastiaansen promoted in 95 on the CBOL method, which is a very dedicated method to analyze satellite images. And in the meantime, he was progressing that for the last 15 years.
Okay.
And
so it's not been developed in 1 year.
No,
this is a 15-year.
It's a 15-year research and development project, which has resulted in a new technology, what we called PI, Pixel Intelligent Mapping. Which means that we put intelligence and content into the pixel. So what we have a pixel of which has a 10 by 10 meters surface of soil of this planet.
Yeah.
And in each
every 10 by 10 meter can be analyzed by your product.
Correct.
So I can stand here on my cellular phone and then immediately get information about the 10 by 10 meter of this stuff where we are now.
Yeah. And in the pixel we have 50 databases at this moment, 50 databases.
Per pixel.
Per pixel, which is about...
Per 10 by 10 meters.
Per 10 by 10. Yeah. About, of course, so we can say what kind of crop is there. Is the potato, is it sugar beet, is it corn? What is the status, what's the condition? What is, if you make...
And mean status about water, chemicals...
and if you make some analysis over time, so let's say 2 or 3 times a week, or you make it 3 weeks after each other, then you can see your progress, and then you can make analysis what is needed in the volume of water or chemicals to make this crop to the optimal growth. So that's a simple wording what we do. That was technology developed by Wim Bastiaansen, and his brother Frans Bastiaansen brought this technology to the farmer, because Wim was working for a lot for the World Bank and the World Food Organization.
Hit the gas. Press it. Harder. You don't press it. Yeah, that is pressing.
Okay, good. Okay.
I just wanted to see. We're now driving an electric car. Have you ever driven an electric car before?
Just once, but this is my second. But
how do you like this?
I'm very much impressed. I'm very positive impressed. I miss the sound.
Right.
I miss the sound.
Turn right here.
Okay.
Turn right. Okay. So now we are. So one brother thought about the technology, analyzed it for 15 years, but then it's in a lab. And it's with computers and lots of things. And now the other brother comes in,
and he brought it to the individual farmer. So Wim brought it to the governments and the big institutes like World Bank and World Food Organization. And he was working for those institutes. And his brother Frans created a separate company to bring this technology to the individual farmer. So that was so Wim had the company of Waterwatch and Frans had the company of BasFood, and both companies are now going to be merged into one complete new company
with another Bastiaansen.
And that's me,
who has experience in putting billions of people in connection with technology, like you did with the mapping technology.
Yeah, correct. And that means, so now we three together started the company eLeaf, electronic leaf, because our basic technology is the fact that we read the leaves. And we read the leaves, and the leaves is telling us everything about what is necessary for the crop.
Okay, so you analyze leaves on a satellite picture, and you can basically tell the farmer how his land is doing, how his crop is doing, if he needs more water, less water, more chemicals, less chemicals, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and in exact volumes, because of course there is already a lot of technology with satellite images, and they call that remote sensing.
Yeah.
But that is often only indexes, so it gives you here's more or less, or moderate, but we give exact volumes in kilograms, in liters, in cubic meters, in tons.
And that's verified through scientific search that it really helps. And
yes.
What are the results if you listen to the Bastiaansen group, the Bastiaansen eLeaf group?
If you listen to the eLeaf group, then we see the results of which we have proven technology over the last 9 years.
Yeah.
And we can prove that we have here in the Netherlands, for example, we have about 10% more potatoes from the same hectare as not using this technology. We have in Alberta, we have now 15% more corn. In those some areas 30%. In Ukraine we get 30% more corn from the same hectare. We are now working on some project in Africa and Ethiopia. We have almost triple the volume of production.
Because they have bad information at the moment. The worse the information is now, the more your technology works. And how do you get it to a billion? How do you get it to millions and millions of farmers?
Well, it is not only for the market. The markets which you serve is of course farming, and food processing.
Yeah.
So initially, this technology will go to the big companies, of course, and the big food processors. But step by step, we are now also working to see how we can bring this technology to the individual farmer, also in Africa. So not only in Western Europe, but also in Africa, with the small farmer who has only perhaps 200 or 300 square meters.
Stop hier even. Ga je maar even in. Yeah. And we make a turn.
Okay.
So not because this is typical stuff which large companies can afford. They have interest. They have a tendency. The Dutch farmers are very used to it. But you say you want to make this broader.
We want to roll out the database worldwide.
Yeah.
So we are going to produce. eLeaf is going to produce a database on plants and water of this planet on every land surface of 10 by 10 meters, and that database is enabling a lot of applications for farmers and other markets which we serve. And then you can think about irrigation planning. We can inform the farmer at which moment he has to do his right irrigation and how much volume of water has to be used at that time. We can inform him when he has to harvest, so we can calculate the protein content of the crop, which is a good indicator of the right moment to harvest. So not yesterday, not after 3 days, but now. So that the harvest moment is optimized, which is also increasing the value of the crop. Yeah. So that's what we can do.
And how expensive or how cheap can that service be with modern technology? I mean, because you want to use smartphones to basically smartphones and laptops.
If you compare to the conventional method, method is that we have satellite images, which is the remote sensing, which is what we call, let's say, only the index. So that is the kind of stupid picture, while we make the smart picture.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Then we have.
What's the biggest competitor of that? And give me a name of the biggest competitor in that industry at the moment.
In the remote sensing, well, you have a lot of them. So
give me the biggest one.
Well, you have Geosystems on that. You have a lot of different companies on that.
Yeah, so I want one name. What is the biggest one?
The biggest one? No, there was a big one, but that was in a German company, and they are now in a very bad condition at the moment. So.
Yeah, and that name is.
No, I will not. That's not
you don't want to tell bad things about the competition.
That's not nice.
That's not nice. Okay.
Not nice.
Alrighty. So there's a lot of stupid pixel technology, and you are the one, the smart pixel, and you're going to deliver it with the smartphone. So, and what kind of cost is it to analyze and to use the database and analyze the database per hectare?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to explain. The conventional method, if you have the satellite images, you take a field survey, you go to a laboratory, and after 3 weeks, you know what to do.
Yeah,
that's a conventional method. Our method,
and that would cost 100, 200, 300 euro.
About 50 euros per hectare.
50 euro per hectare.
And what we do, and then your time to conclusion is about 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Okay.
We bring the time to conclusion back to 1 day. Yeah. And the cost back from 50 euros to 1 euro per hectare. 1 euro per 100 by 100 meters. 1 euro per hectare. Yeah. 10,000 square meters.
Still right here. Okay. So that's dramatically much better.
As well,
and you use just technology which everybody has, namely the mobile phone or a laptop with internet.
That's where you can find the applications, and people can have access to the applications and to the content. But
okay, how does the business model work? Can you make that database? Will other people make the applications? Will you sell to the individual farmer, or will other organizations sell?
No, our business model, we produce a database, and we sell the database to application developers who will bring that to the individual farmers and to the food processors and to the market.
Okay.
And then of course we have also we have an app store. Later on we will have the app store. Everybody can go to the app store and find the applications.
Yeah.
Next to that we have the SaaS, where people have access and can to the content and can work with the content. All those facilities will also be offered.
Okay. So it's an indirect model. How big can this become? I mean, you started now. The new company is now just started, and it's two old companies which are merged into it. What is the total sales, say, last year?
Oh, then we talk about 2 million.
About 2 million. Yeah. And so, what is the potential if you accelerate this, make it easy, make it lower at lower prices, but have a higher volume?
Then this, that's what we foresee in our planning. This goes already in the next 7 to 8 years in the direction of 1 billion euros revenue.
Okay. So with Teleatlas you had a 1 billion valuation.
3 billion.
3 billion valuation. 3 billion valuation. We turn right here. And with this you're going to 1 billion. There was 200 million sales, or something like that.
Yeah, but this will be bigger. This is bigger.
And this will be much bigger in terms of sales.
Yeah, because it is bigger because it addresses a very serious need of this planet. Scarcity of food and scarcity of water. It has a business model which is supported by a lot of companies for application development. So the business model is right, and it addresses a basic need for our society.
Okay, who are the investors in eLeaf?
Well, we are at this moment in the round one of our investors. So we have we cannot disclose because of the NDA, but we have substantial global investors now coming on the table, and we hope to close round one in 1 month from now.
And what, 5 million or 10 million?
That's 11 million.
11 million, and that will be announced shortly in a couple of months. Okay, well we leave here to the right. So you now you've driven this electric. No, straight. What do you think of this electric driving?
Really fantastic.
Because you normally drive.
I drive a Mercedes.
Mercedes, always long kilometer. And what is your impression as a petrol head?
Very well. I'm looking to the acceleration. It is really. It has a good speed.
Yeah. Turn right here.
Really, this fantastic.
You have a very calm driving style. So now, if you turn around, this is red, so you have to wait for green, but then press the car, because acceleration is excellent of this kind of stuff.
Fantastic. I like it very much.
Yeah. Go, you can go.
Now you can accelerate?
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's really a fantastic car. I think, Vincent, thank you very much for inviting me in this test drive and having a nice talk about, because it's nice as a person from eLeaf to drive in a Leaf car.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
In fact, we should have this as our company car.
Yeah, well, I'm sure sustainability is probably because you use less chemical, less water, more food. In a very sustainable way, because you're just being smarter. You're not using all kinds of very dangerous technology. So sustainability would be something, and of course electric driving is a nice way to do it. If you could put it back in the original place.
Okay.
Well, Bastiaansen, next step is basically closing the deal for your venture capital. Yeah. And then the next step is that how are you going to bring this, to farmers which don't have a lot of capital and a lot of money? How are you going to do that?
Well, therefore we have these applications, and I think the applications are going already to a very low price. If you take, for example, irrigation, it's about €4. Only for an irrigation planner. If you
for 1 hectare.
For 1 hectare.
€4. Yeah. But how many times do you have to do that per year?
This depending on.
But if you have it every day, then it's a lot of money.
Nah, okay, but €4. Then no, the €4 is for growth season. All prices which
the whole season.
Yeah. So if we talk about €1 per hectare for the whole growth season.
Okay.
Our database.
And then what is the €4 per hectare?
The €4 is for the application.
Oh, okay. So the database is euro, and if you then buy it in an application form, it's €4 per hectare for the whole season.
For the whole season. And if you then calculate a farmer spends already, I think, about between 20 and 30 euros only on gas, on diesel for his irrigation. Well, then.
And in Africa, they're. They have to dig. They have to basically, or they have to just. Okay, well, we'll see. When will you have accelerated to have this? When will the website be ready, the database engine be ready, so that you can have this whole application model available?
Well, we have now.
You need to close.
Yeah, and we have.
And then you need to rebuild and retool.
Yeah, correct. That is what is in process at the moment. So by the end of this now July, so I think within 1 month we have complete everything ready on that website in the Netherlands.
Really?
Yeah.
Come on, a good website takes at least 4 months.
That's
or 6 months.
But we don't start from scratch, of course. That's right. So then we have the site for the farmers where they can buy all the data and where they can have access to the data, which is in the Netherlands called Mijn Akker. That's already in on the air.
In production.
And then that's where people can already have access to the data. At this moment, we have already 4,000 farmers in the Netherlands using our database.
And abroad?
Abroad, as I mentioned, there we have a fragmented solution. So we have South Africa, West Cape, where we work on.
Everything together, how many farmers are there?
Oh, farmers, that will be, because we have also big food processors, like the guys of Nestle and British Sugar, and then you don't talk about individual farmers.
No, you talk more about hectare, zeg maar.
Yeah, we are the hectare guys.
Yeah.
So I think that is getting into the fast progress. But we have now launched in technology in China together with Maxime Verhagen recently.
Maxime Verhagen didn't stop talking about your technology when he introduced the digital agenda of the Netherlands. Yeah. He's a very big fan of yours.
Yes, he's a very big ambassador of us, and I think it addressed also every letter of his new ministry: economic, agriculture, and innovation. So this, I think, is.
Yeah, so you were his pet project. How did you meet him?
Well, that was at that time when we were in China on that.
Okay, so you went with him to China. You told him about it, and he likes that. He liked the idea.
And we had our workshop where we introduced our technology to the China industry and the China agricultural environment and the Chinese government. The same as what we have done in India. In the meantime, also there we have very positive feedback on that. We are now operating in Russia. And in Ukraine we are working on some pilot projects, and now we're also in Alberta, because it is like with my former professional life with navigation. When you have your first navigation system, what most people do, they put in the first their own address, say, oh, my street is in there, okay, it will work. Yeah. So everywhere where we go with this new technology, not only the farmer but also big food processors will say, well, first we do a pilot on our own fields to see how it works. Yeah. So we are now in the phase of many pilots. Okay. And so what you will see is that next year, when they are convinced it really works and it really brings the benefit, which
you will sell, you start selling. So 2011 is building it and doing pilots. 2012 is you raise money. You have to produce the engine so that it really works, and you have to make an ecosystems with all kinds of application. So in 2013 there will be volume. It will be used in volume. Okay. Now one question: where do you get the pictures, the satellite pictures, the basic material before your algorithm starts building the database? And how many times are these pictures for all over the world updated? Yeah, because that's very expensive.
Yeah, that's an expensive part. The nice part of this technology which Wim Bastiaansen has made is that we are not relying on one satellite operator on satellite images. Most of the people in remote sensing are related to one specific satellite operator. We're not. So we can. If today the Chinese have the best satellites in the right resolution, we take the Chinese. Tomorrow the Americans, we take the Americans, or the Europeans, we take the Europeans. So, and if you see what happens on the satellites now at this moment, what we have experienced in the last 5 years on memory capacity in computers, that's going to happen. The same evolution is going to happen in satellite images in the next 5 years. The Chinese are developing fantastic new satellites with all kind of new features, with a much higher performance than what we have at this moment.
Than the Americans.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Chinese are going to be the innovators again. Yeah. So they're innovating in electric driving, and you say they're also innovating in
new satellite technology.
In new satellite technology. Yeah. Much better pictures, also at a lower price.
Much lower price and better resolutions and much more features, which can serving much more data components. So at this moment we have 50 databases in our Pixel, and that will triple in the next years to come.
Okay, but I mean, if you want the Netherlands if you want to serve the Netherlands, you need to get satellite pictures every day, or every week, or every month.
Well, we try, of course, every day, but that's depending on the weather conditions. So we have now also special technology that we can look through the clouds, because we have a cloudy climate. that you don't have that handicap when you go into the Middle East or in Africa, but here in our country, in the northern part of the
So you get a picture when you get a picture, and so you pay the satellite owner, say, hey, I want to have all the pictures available for the Netherlands. You pay per country, or you pay per
we pay
100?
We pay per strip, so we have
Strip.
so we have a strip or blocks. We have blocks of 60 by 60 kilometers. You have also blocks, so we buy tiles.
Yeah, you buy tiles.
Of the
so if you have a client there, you buy the tile.
Yeah.
And so you need a certain number of clients before you can basically provide the service.
Yeah.
So you cannot do it for one farmer. You have to do a bunch of farmers
unless he's prepared.
Unless he's really big, because I mean,
but big food processors are doing it.
Of course. Give me an idea. If you have a 60 by 60 kilometer for a whole year, how much do you pay for that kind of service?
For complete service, everything is about 150,000 euros.
For 60 by 60, and the Chinese will do that. Cheaper than 150,000.
No, the 150,000 is including our purchase of satellite pictures, everything.
Yeah.
So and then we have also done our data processing. Yeah. Because we have the satellite images, we have the data processing.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the raw fuel. The raw fuel is your satellite picture. So 60 by 60.
Yeah, but there's also meteorological data, is also soil data, is also weather data.
Oh, you buy that all, and you combine everything in a thing. Yeah. Okay, so it's really a lot of very complex technology to make a very simple service for the farmer.
And reliable. So at this moment we guarantee that every database which we supply to the market has a reality proof of 95%. Everything what you see in our database is for 95% correct. Okay. In all cases, and that should go in the direction of 99%. But 95% is already by far much better than
a lab which you have to send in 3 weeks. So you now service the Netherlands. So you have the satellite data of the Netherlands, which you say you do tests in Russia, China, and India,
and
all these small Canada, small parts. Yeah. Is Holland at the moment the big testing ground? You have 4,000 farmers here.
Yeah, what we agreed with, what we try to achieve is that we have next to our global rollout is that we try to create a competence center in the Netherlands. Therefore, we had very close contact with the Ministry of Maxime Verhagen, where we want to have a kind of basic registration of satellite images, so that we, together with the ministry, create a database on only satellite images, which everybody can use for free in the Netherlands. And out of that, many different application developers will come, and data developers will come, so that we build a kind of ecosystem here in the Netherlands around this new technology of pixel intelligent mapping.
Well, you're saying that the Ministry, that the Agriculture and Innovation will make a database available of all the satellite pictures of the Netherlands, and they will pay the bill for that. Yeah. And every application developer can use that database or your database.
No, you can use that database of satellite images.
Yeah, and then you're one of the users of that satellite information. And everybody can make products and services. So to be a testing ground for this kind of stuff. Yeah. Is that already decided, or is that an idea which there's 25 committees have to sign off to?
There's an idea which we discussed with the minister. He's embraced the idea. And he's now institutes and his.
But that will be 10 million or 20 million funding per year.
Yeah,
necessary.
Might be.
Okay, so it still needs to be decided, and everybody's trying to save money, but we'll see how it goes.
No, but they're very positive about it, and I'm also positive. Okay, if we can bring this as a competence center in the Netherlands,
no, it's a great idea. Yeah. I just need to say, so we need to see your funding. We need to basically see you wrap up in volume. And in 2013 we need to see a big result, and we still see if the competence center comes to the Netherlands.
Well, Vincent, I'm really look forward to our next drive in the car, and I'll give you an update on that. Yeah?
There will be a complete new car with lots of new features and that kind of thing.
Okay.
Thank you, Ad.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Oké.
Nou, dus
even linksonder zit een klepje, dat blauwe dingetje. Ja. Daarmee kan ik weer even